Hi, good morning, everyone. Uh, this is Swarna. In previous class, we discussed about document adding and the document library and how document is going to interact when we change. And I showed you some topics about document content, adding content to the document into the document library, these kind of topics. In today's session, we are still in the same content management system in Sharepoint. And whenever we add any document and when we are trying to edit any document, we have a very good facility called version control for the security. Everybody should understand what is a version control and how we are going to control version for every document. The major advantage of the SharePoint is collaboration. Like any document, you can interact with many users. One document has suppose 10 or 15 pages, then you cannot edit the document that you can share with any of your colleagues. As I told in a previous class, exactly the same thing I'm going to explain now. Now I will show you the one document once if I edit this one and how this editing is going to impact with the other users. Right now I will interact with two users. One user is coming from Internet Explorer and another user is logged in with Google Chrome. So what all the manipulations I do here, what all the changes I do here, and other user how they are going to see your changes based on your permissions and their permissions. I am going to explain that topic now. Now just I will check here. 1 second. Let me minimize my screen and show you. Sorry. Okay. Here user is called Swarna. I logged in with Swarna. Now I will show you in Google Chrome. Again in Google Chrome, I logged in with student 1. Now it is prompting is a student 1. Two users are there working in the same system. Because I am giving you training, like I am just recording my video. For the training purpose, I used the same system to show you two users how we can interact with the same document. But in real time scenario, definitely one user is coming from one system and another user maybe anywhere in the world, like whenever they logged in and with their credentials. Now two students are in same computer with the two browsers. One is Internet Explorer and another one is Google Chrome. First, in Internet Explorer, the user is logged in with the Swarna. Now what Swarna is doing is, I am going to show you how you have to share your content updates in a secure way. Now I am going to work on one document. For example, I don't want other users to do any more changes on the document until I finish my changes. So this is what my concept. Come here now. Come to training documents library. It can be any library. And or we go back and 1 second. Let me go back to the same document library what we have done in the past. And site contents and document libraries. Okay, maybe this is the only one library, or we can go to the site contents and take another one, and training documents. This is fine. Now I am in a document library still because I have two folders with the same name, little confusion. So it's a joining documents in a documents library. Click on it. You have one document. Now this document I am going to update. I don't need to explain in a specific way if this is normal editing purpose. But now I'm going to lock my document because until unless you don't lock the document, anybody has access to edit any changes and do anything on your document. So what I do is here, click on three buttons, and I'm going to explain about this checkout option we have in a document library. Documents. This document right now I'm going to check out. Checkout means other person cannot do any editings. Any other user, not one, any other user cannot do any edits until you check back in. This green mark, what it is showing is already checked out. Document 1.docx checked out to Swarna G. Now suppose I will come back here later after updating some content, and I will show you here in other user. Because we are interacting with the two users, keep on changing two screens. That does not affect you anything. Like don't get confused, like interacting with many screens, sometimes we may get confused, right? So here another screen. The second one, what is happening here, student one also go to the same documents, training documents path, and you can refresh this one. Confirm forms resubmission. This one will affect as most of the time when that any changes already made, like some other users checked out the documents and anybody is working on the document library, this kind of things. That time you will have to do continue for that. And that change has been reflected here because here checked out to Swarna G. See, exactly it is showing checked out to Swarna G. This document has been checked out, but not for this user, not for student 1. This is checked out to Swarna G. Now come here, you have right to edit the document. This person don't have any right to edit the document, even though he has a permission for this document library and the document, but for this document is already checked out. Now you can see whether I will show you demonstration and this. Click on the document, and now really you have a permission, but based on that checked out option, it is not allowing you to save anything. Just simply close this and information, or just go back to the site contents and documents, training documents. I'm trying to get back to the same path. Now what Swarna can do, Swarna is trying to edit something with this document. I want to show you how these changes are going to affect once the file is checked out. HH and doing my update by Swarna, or just some message. It is auto saving, right? It's already saved. Come here. This saved content, it's already auto saved. When you see the preview here, you can see your changes. My update by Swarna. But these changes you will definitely not get into your user 1 because this document is already checked out, still in checked out condition. As long as this is checked out, all the changes what you make is going to save for you only when you log in, but not for other users. These changes need to reflect to the other users. You need to check in document. Then see here how this is reflecting in student 1. Student 1 preview, they don't have that latest update what you have done because that is not being checked in. Close this. Come here in Internet Explorer with the Swarna. Now I'm trying to check in, or if you always discard checkout, is latest updates are not going to commit changes. But right now I'm going to check in. You can do any comments. This is very optional. Modify by Swarna. This is optional. See another message here. Retain your checkout after checking in. Yes or no. Means once if you check in, that changes only will reflect on other users' documents when they log in. But still they can't do any changes because you are telling retain your checkout after checking in. Still document is going to be checked out for you. But still they can see latest updates by you. This is the meaning. If I don't want any more checkout, I am releasing these documents for other users. They can do some other edits. Then I can simply say no. You need to understand this topic very well. This is very important. Okay. Then click on OK. Now what happened? A few seconds ago, Swarna updated this with version 15. I will come back later with the versioning. Don't think about it, this versioning. I will definitely explain step by step for the versioning. Now we are working on document, checkout and check-in between two users. Here, come here and so in a student 1, here it is showing as a checked out version, and see here when you see this person, because that's what now already checked in the document. So my update by Swarna is being reflected here. Now I am going to do some changes. Student 1 right now are going to do some changes. Now this is going to come back to the Swarna. So two users are interacting in this way. When I want to update any document, check out the document and check back in to show these updates to other users. And other user is doing vice versa. These two are the same document, two users are sharing. I like this facility all the time because many users in our organization they can share simply 1 or 2 pages of the document. We don't need it. Sometimes big contracts has 50 pages documents, that kind of things. Definitely all other users has different pages they can share, or different kind of things we can perform on the same document. This is what just I want to explain. And now this document is already checked out to student 1. So click on it and see what will happen. Made by Swarna. Now you see another change. Edit in browser. If it is not allowing, you need to check out. Open in reading view. Now please check out this document before editing in Word Online. So it is asking us to check out the document. No worries, just go back and check out the document. So it is officially checked out this document. Now trying to edit document with user 1, student 1, sorry, with user student 1. Now my second update by student 1. Okay. Now my second update by student 1, this message who is going to save? Student 1 is going to save on the same document. Is already saved. So go back. Now this will reflect for the student 1 because right now he is in the same user who is updating this. Now you need to check back in to reflect these changes into Swarna. So now Swarna don't see those changes, even though see those changes by student 1 is not reflected yet for the Swarna. Why? Because it has not been checked in. So let me come here. Okay. And in student 1 right now is going to check in the document to show these results to other users. And come here and check in. Updated by student 1. This version, separate version, is going to store with the comments entered by student 1. Now click OK. Always when you check back in or check out, you need to maintain some relevant content or relevant comments. This is very useful in later versions. Suppose in a busy world you did lot of changes for your documents, but those changes you don't want it. Maybe you need to go back to the previous versions of your document. That time it's very useful for you to easily track and what happened on this version and what happened and what are the changes they have done during this version. Why can't I go back to the same version for this? And that kind of help is very important. So then better to enter some comments, relevant comments exactly. Like I added a paragraph 4, deleted paragraph 5, this kind of things, and try to put some relevant information for that. And one more thing here, now I showed you very clearly how two users or more than one user are going to interact with a single document, and check out and check in and discard checkout also. I don't need to very clearly explain about a discard checkout. Simply what are the changes you make that is going to discard all latest version changes, not previous versions, and just at the time what you did. That changes after you check out the document. Since the time you checked out the document and you performed so many updates, and those updates are going to discard when you discard the document. And try to remember all these things, and please try to interact with more than one user, and all check out, do some exercise, take some 2-3 documents and repeatedly like check out document, check back in, and log in with a different user, or you check with any other user that you are working with. You can try like that, or you by yourself you can interact with the two users in the same browser on different browsers. One is in Internet Explorer, one is in a Google Chrome. In that way you will definitely get confident. It's important for initially it is important for any beginners, because not to get confused. I did this so many times, so I can very clearly explain this is checked out and these are all happening like this. And because in real time scenario you are going to work on very important documents, so I know checkout and I know check-in, and what if anything mess happens, definitely you will get some scoldings like what happened, why you did these changes. Suppose if it is not in a Sharepoint also, if you are doing manually checking changes, so some mistakes may happen. So make sure you're confident with checkout and check-in versions, and doing correct updates in time. That is a better way. That is one topic I want to cover. And so today I'm going to talk about a different topic, not entirely different. We are still in content management and a document library, because once this document library topic is finished, I am going to switch into the list. List is also an important topic, SharePoint list and libraries. First, we are in document libraries. And till now, if you can follow along with me, definitely this is a good sign. You will definitely understand rest of the topics. And I'm thinking like whether I'm going very fast, or is it a bit I have to track all your changes, spend some time and track all your changes and how you're following along with me. Always I'm thinking in that way. The next topic we are going to cover today's class is about this one. You see here, right? Everybody know that what I'm going to talk about. Everybody looking at this 16.0 and 1.0. What are these things, and what is a version, and how is it mandatory or not mandatory? It's all up to you. Once, if you are on document library, if you have admin rights, you can control versioning. Whether do I need to maintain versioning or not. Suppose your employees are new employees or new users, then you need to track what changes. Or you suppose two colleagues are working since long time, you don't need any update. These are extra space occupied and everything. You don't need any versioning. We are confident that at time it simply can reset it. This is not mandatory versioning, but highly advisable and highly important. This one is versioning is. Now we'll see here how versioning is going to happen. Versioning is already enabled for this document library. That's why it is showing here. In later versions, when I am in a library settings, when you go to this library and library settings topic, I will explain all this versioning and some other topics, and what are all the major settings we can perform with your permissions. This will come into the next. But right now, suppose think that you are already enabled versioning in for your document library. Now, once versioning is enabled, the main advantage of the versioning is whenever you check out the document, whenever you check back in document, is called one version. It can be major version, it can be minor version. Like minor versions, the document is going to edit so many times for smaller updates. That time you can enable minor versions. Or if suppose some titles are going to change only, and that time you can think like this is a major versions. Once in a while we do check out and check in major versions. It's all again it depends on the need, then how you are going to perform. So now these are all called major versions. It is showing that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. If minor versions means it will show you 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. These are all minor versions of the documents. And now we are maintaining, now we have up to this is 16th version of this document, means 16 times checked out and checked in already done. So by any other user, it need not to be versioning is need not to be your like a one user, particular user. Versioning will work for all other users who are all did check out and check in for the same document, who are all having proper permissions. Very importantly, if you have proper permissions, then only you are able to do all these kind of things. Otherwise, simply read the document, download the documents. If read permissions only, just read the document, download. And if you have editing options, then only you can do all these and maintain all versioning. Now we check here, and I'll show you this concept through today's class. Versioning, and let's see once if you come here, advanced, or here, sorry, version history. In our previous class, I covered all these almost, and version history I'm going to talk today's class only. So many times, you see here how many times this document has been edited, because it is being edited all this, but it is showing 6 to 16, and my previous versions, what happened? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all already gone, because I am going to retain highest 10 versions. That is what I did my settings in my library versioning settings. So it is going to retain all latest 10 versions. Suppose if you make so many changes, like up to 20 versions you maintain, then what happened? Then it is going to show again 11 to 20, like that, like up to 10 versions it is going to pick all latest versions. That always you can set either up to your need. Then you just check on how many latest versions I'm going to retain. Sometimes you can say only 3 or 4 versions. I don't want to maintain all these long back versions already done, or only one previous version. By default, if I do any mistakes, then I can retain my previous version of my document. This you can do with the versioning. And always any version, because every version will occupy space, right? So to maintain that, what you can do, click on this version. Suppose my previous version is there, click on this version, and drop down button is there. You can perform these 3 things with that version. So first you need to very clearly understand, and because once if you do any deletion on this, it is going to send this particular version of this document to recycle bin. Once it is in a recycle bin, you need to have the permission to get it back into the document library, but always recovery is there. Once, if you by default, if you delete this document version, it is going to store in recycle bin. From recycle bin also in site recycle bin. There are 2 recycle bins. One is a site level recycle bin, another one is a site collection level recycle bin. These things will come later classes, definitely. Once if I am switching into site collection level permissions and site level administration, these kind of things. And before deleting, better to check more than one time, like whether do I need to delete or not. But don't perform unnecessarily, like it's a burden going back and getting back this document, this kind of thing. Here I just want to see what happened in this version, and after looking itself, I can restore this version. So then you can click on the view and see the previous version of your document, how it is going to be. And yeah. Sorry. So go back here, and I'm showing that regarding the versioning and version history. Still, we are in this version history. Now, what happened in this version? This is the latest version, right? Latest version updated by student 1. Now, what Swarna is thinking, I have permission rights to control the content updates. Now, what I can do? Now I don't want that. So I want to get back my change here. I don't want any of these updates now. Now still you can go back here and restore. Whenever you click restore, this 15th version is going to replace with 16. And 16 is going to come down into the same place where you are now. It can be 13, it can be 14. When you restore any version, this one is going to be, suppose if I'm going to restore this version, it is going to be on the 16th position. Now this 16th latest update going to replace with 12. So let me see what will happen here. 15th version, restore. I'm just saying this one is restore. is not checked out. Sorry, something went wrong. When you see this message, just simply read what it is displaying on the screen. The file it is showing document1.docx is not checked out. You must first check out this document before making changes. So go back to site again. Because we clicked on go back to site, is going to refresh this site page. Wait for that change. Okay. Now, when you are going to work on any versioning, that document must be checked out. Otherwise, it will not let you do anything on versioning. That is important. So now I'm going to check out this document. Now document has been checked out. Now I'm going to retain my previous version, what we had discussed just now. And yeah, go to version history. Now I'm going to retain, see here in the 15th version modified by Swarna. Now I'm going to restore this. So as it is, that previous version came down, and again that new version has been updated as a new document. Now you can click and check what is the document it is showing right now when we restore the document. It is trying to open in Word Online. Just bear with me, please. So it is asking for credentials again. I think I remember my password. I know it is taking some time, but yeah, the version history work like this exactly. See, I just want to show you then how this versioning is there. Let me come back again. Okay, it has not been refreshed, this site. Let me refresh it. Now document 1 and try to get that information. See my update by Swarna. My second update by student 1. Once let me see the version history, what happened here. Yeah, I did updates 2 times, right? My second update and my by student 1. That's what I restored. That's why it is showing this one. We can see with any other information it is showing. Let me see here what happened by Swarna. I don't want to switch between the apps. I just want to view this document. It is still asking. And the version history, and that's all. But exactly the same way you can retain all your versions, previous versions. Whenever you go to the any other new version, later versions, then always there is a chance you can come back to the previous versions. So this is about our versioning, and 2 more topics I am going to explain later, and what are all these properties, and because every document library has a property. Once if you go here and see properties, then how these properties are going to work, and This one I will explain later regarding the properties. What are the properties? See here, all these are different columns. You see here, it will reflect in your properties. And also work for library views and different kind of views we can represent all the data on the sites. That one also I will cover in another data sessions. And this is all for today. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for all attendance. Bye. See you in next class. Thanks. Bye bye.